Hey, seventh grade. For the next 2 days, we have just one activity, and it will require a tape measure. And so, most every toolbox has one of those in it, so I'm sure that you can figure something out there. Um, if not, message me and I can help you figure out some creative ways to measure things. Anyway, um, we are going to make a scale blueprint model or a scale drawing of a room in your house. So I'm sure these last couple of weeks you know every single corner of your house and your property and all of the outbuildings and probably all the way down the street. And you can name the rocks because, that's what we've been doing. um, So you're going to create a scale drawing of a room in your home. It doesn't have to be your room. It can be the living room. It can be the bathroom. It can be wherever, or an outbuilding like a shed or a barn. And we're going to be using Google Drawings. So I'm going to have a special video to use the drawing tool. And I'm not going to post that until tomorrow because I really want you to kind of take your time. Um, and here is the table that we're going to fill in. So first thing that you want to do is measure a room in your home or an outbuilding. And we are going to measure the walls. Some rooms, like my brother's room growing up, he had an extra little inlet where the closet was. And so he actually had 6 corners in his room. Most rooms, like mine, just have 4 corners. So if you have extra things, and this is where you're going to put that. So the room width, we're going to look at my room right now, and I'm going to guesstimate. It is, what would I think? That's a 6-foot dresser over there. That's a third of the room. There we go. We're going to call this 16 feet because I don't think it's actually a third. And then the length, so going this way, we're going to call that 12 feet. Okay. And then I don't have any extra stuff. And then I'm going to come down here after I get all of my original measures here, and we're going to have a scale factor. And so we'll talk about that in just a second. So then find 3 objects in your room or in the barn. It can be like the tool bench. It can be the garbage can. It can be the lawnmower. It can be your dresser. It can be the TV. It can be a writing desk. It can be the toilet in the bathroom, whatever. Just 3 things that will fill your room. And then you're going to put them in the appropriate spot. So mine's a dresser. I have a 6-foot dresser. It's actually 6 feet by, and for this one, we want to have the length and the width, by 18 inches, so 1.5 feet. I do have a desk in here. It is exactly 3 feet because I had to measure it whenever I got this desk. I actually got it for my college work. Believe that before all this started. Now I'm really glad I have it. And that is actually also 1.5 feet deep. Oh dear, there we go. All right, I do have a bookshelf. It is very tall. I don't care about tall because if you've ever seen a blueprint, and I'm just gonna doodle this on an orange piece of paper. So an orange print, it's all overhead view. And so this is where my bed is, and this is where my dresser is, and this is where my bookshelf is, and this is where my little desk is, and this is where the other dresser is. So there you go. It's all the overhead view. So this one, like I said, is my bed. This one over here is my dresser. This one's my bookshelf. This one, there we go, is my desk. And this one all the way over here is the other dresser. And again, that one's tall. But I don't care how tall the things are. I just want their length and width. So a rectangle that the floor space that they're taking up, that's what I'm really worried about. So the bookshelf is also 3 feet, and that one's actually only 1 foot deep. So there we go. And then the bed, it's a queen size bed, and I know that there's measurements out there for it, but I can't remember to save my life. So we're going to call it a 7 foot by, what do you think? 5.5 feet? Yeah, let's go with that. All right. So then my scale factor. My scale factor, on Google Drawings, so I guess I'm going to have to show you guys this real quick. On Google Drawings, there is a measure tool up here, the little inch bar. As soon as it comes up, give it a second. Wow, that's taken forever. Okay, so it's got this little measurement bar up here. It's 7 inches that way, and then actually, or well, 7.5 inches, and then actually only like 5.5 inches this way. So this is the space that your room needs to fit in. And so I'll do this again on a separate video, but if you want your room to be, this big, oh, there we go, that's close enough. Then you would mark over here that your room is, I don't know, 12 feet wide and 80 feet long, because that is about how this rectangle would work here. And so we need it to fit within these margins, and we're going to use the available ruler. And what's really nice is that the background of the Google Drawings is that little checkerboard, so you can really tell where you're at. Anyway, we're gonna get rid of that. Okay, so I'm actually gonna make that say 7 by 5 inches, which is the space that is provided by Google Drawings, and that could look like 1 foot in real life is equal to 1/2 inch on the Google Drawings, or 1 foot is 1/4 inch if you're using like a barn or something, because 1/4 inch, there's 4 of those, so that'd be like 20 feet by 28 feet. And while that's not like a huge barn, that's something that you can work with. And on the Google Drawings, it had the eighths of an inch marked. So you can go all the way down to an eighth if you want. I'm going to have a very simple one, and 1 foot equals 1/2 an inch. Okay, so that's going to be my scale factor. It's very easy to work with, because if it's 16 feet, then the scale measure is going to be 8 feet. That's not right. 8 inches. Okay, now there's a problem. An 8-inch thing is not going to fit on a 7 by 5 on a 7 by 5 inch space. So that's not going to work. I'm going to have to think of something else. And so instead of making this a 1/2 inch, I'm going to make it 1/4 of an inch. Yep. So 16 divided by 4 is 4 inches. There we go. I can deal with that. And 12 divided by 4, that's going to be 3 inches. And I don't have any extra room. Now 6 divided by 4, that's going to be 1.5 inches by 1.5 divided by 4. That's going to be something, isn't it? Well, guess what? You have a calculator. They're all over the internet. You got this. The only thing that might be a little bit difficult is putting it actually on the ruler part, because you have to, have good eyes and be able to see where that is. Use the measuring tools appropriately. So really, that's all that we're looking at here. Is you're going to fill in the table. So, sorry, I feel like I just stopped right there because it got difficult, but it's really just a matter of putting it in the calculator. And if your room is exactly this big, then I'm not going to give it away for you. So there's that. That is pretty much what I got. All right, so find the new length of each measurement, put it on the table, use your scale measurements and the ruler on Google Drawings. I'll have a video for that uploaded tomorrow. And then the entire thing, the table and your Google Drawing, and your Google Drawing will just be inserted down here. That will all be due this Friday at noon. I have set a schedule to update my gradebook in case you're missing anything or you turn in anything late or you have spotty internet connection and you need extra time. That's fine. There's not going to be a penalty for late work because you can't get to the internet. This is really more for me so that I can get alerts every time, and that's why my phone keeps going off in the background. Um, that I can get alerts to make sure that I update your work in your actual Alma gradebook. All right. So go today. This is what you need to do today. Pick your room, measure it, record it in this table. You can do it on a sticky note and then transfer it over. By the way, this over here is completely editable. If you're not going to use your bedroom, then pick other items. Anyway, so you record the stuff in your table and then you choose your scale factor. It would be a good idea to go ahead and get the new measures out. So really all you're doing is if it's 1 foot is a half an inch, or maybe you want to do that a half a foot is 1 inch because you have a tiny little room. That would be a very tiny room. It would be a closet actually. But anyway, there's not enough stuff in the closet for you to really do this project. I digress. Sorry guys, it's late and I'm just kind of rambling on. So I'm going to stop now. Tomorrow then you're going to actually make the drawing. So go find a measuring tape. If you don't have one, if you can't find one, if you don't know how to use a measuring tape, then definitely get somebody to show you that because that's a skill that everybody needs. But if you don't have a measuring tape like that, then let me know and we will come up with some very ingenious ways to measure new things. All right, I'm going to get off of here. Happy measurement and see you later.